Have you ever wondered what life is like in China during a pandemic and wondered how to get into the country during said pandemic? I know there are many people trying to get into China right now that know very little about the process. So today I'm going to share 7 things you must know before coming to China. Let's get started. Also, I would like to preface this video by saying that the information is mostly applied to NYU students because that was my personal experience. However, I think even if you may not be an NYU student or you're just trying to get into the country, it'll help you understand the process a little bit better. Number 1, visa application. I know a lot of people are wondering about this one, so I will try and explain it as best as possible. My process was actually pretty easy. I know that wasn't the case for everyone, but I will share my personal experience in getting my Chinese visa. So basically, this was done last semester in New York City. That is where I studied for the fall semester because I couldn't come to Shanghai. But what happened was they sent us an email where we applied for the visa online. And we filled it out with our personal information and then printed it out. It was relatively simple since they sent us, NYU staff sent us a sample of the Chinese visa and what we should put for the categories that are the same for everyone, like school, person inviting us, that sort of thing. Then we went to like this resource center building place. I don't know if it was actually resource center or like student life or something, but we went there with our printed out visa applications and submitted them to the staff. There, they looked at our passports and compared the information if it was accurate, and they took both our passports and the visa application that we printed out. After the changes were made and everything looked okay, they submitted them for us for review. Later after the semester, I received my Chinese visa and passport in the mail. Number 2, physical tests. Expect to do numerous tests when you come not only to China, but before going to China as well. The main thing I want to warn you about is they're extremely thorough with the PCR tests. They go very far up your brain, basically. Of everyone that flew over, all the international students, a group of us, they took shuttle buses and they shuttled us from the dorms to the hospital where they conducted several tests, including eye tests, blood tests, x-rays, etc. They had us wear these like robe things, low-key fire. But the main thing about that is just expect to do a lot of testing, of course. Number 3 is the quarantine process. I covered this a little bit in my travel vlog. If you guys haven't checked it out, you can check it down below in the description or in the top left, maybe. So what you do is you complete 1 week of quarantine in a Chinese approved consulate in the US. So mine was in Detroit. So there's a specific testing site there that when they conduct the testing, they're working with the Chinese government or something. They trust each other, okay? So they trust the test results. Then when we actually get to China, we do 2 weeks of quarantine in a quarantine hotel. Then 1 week in an NYU dorm, which for me was Busan. And then another week self-monitoring in the actual dorms that we are staying in for the semester. Number 4, residence permit. So the visa I applied for only allows me to stay for approximately 1 month, 30 days-ish. So it's very important to apply for the residence permit so you are allowed to stay in the country. For this one, NYU really came through. Like the physical test, they took us in a group and we all went to the police department together and they walked us through the process. So at the police station, we just went through the different kiosks basically and filled out the various documents that were given to us. It was pretty straightforward, not too complicated. Then we gave them our passports and they returned them about a week later with our residence permit. Also do keep in mind that it is 1,000 yuan to get the residence permit. Number 5, expect the unexpected. Lots of policies are already in place and they are subject to change. Even though you do have your passport and all that other stuff and you did your part to the best of your ability, things may happen unexpectedly. And it's just the way things are. Not everything can go according to plan. It's impossible to tell what could happen. So just expect disappointment so that way you won't be disappointed. That is a bad way of saying that. But seriously, things will happen that will be out of your control. And the worst thing you can do is stress over it. Number 6, QR codes. They were in Detroit. They were at the airport. they use them everywhere in China. So I guess this one is just prepared to be scanning a lot of QR codes. Everything is digitized nowadays. Like when we were filling out our information, we had to scan QR codes to get on the plane to fill out like a health thing. For like daily life, when you go to a restaurant, the menu is a QR code. You go scan on the table and then it's the menu. I know it's not like a crazy cool thing, but to me it was crazy cool. It was like, I don't know. I thought it was really cool. Number 7. Here you go. Ready? Nihao Mobile. It was a very long process getting here. However, the school helped with basically everything, which I really appreciated. But even then, some problems still arise. The school did help us get our phone numbers. However, in my opinion, the SIM cards are a little slow and not very user-friendly. And that's where Nihao Mobile comes in. Let's start with the definition of an expat. Because why not? An expat is someone who's living outside of their native country. And when it comes to their best friend, that's where Nihao Mobile comes in. Before I start getting into the goods that Nihao Mobile provides, let me introduce them a bit so you can trust them as much as I do. Nihao Mobile is a Chinese network operator that provides high quality network services to expats living in China. It's a highly authenticated company and is supported by the Chinese government. Nowadays, where literally everything is digitized, from talking with friends and family, ordering food, reserving tables at restaurants, the list goes on and on. It's important to have a fast and reliable connection. Otherwise, you'll be completely cut off from the outside world. Other Chinese SIM card companies often charge insanely high rates and are extremely difficult to use, especially if you don't speak Chinese. Fortunately, Nihao Mobile allows expats to register for their SIM cards online with their passports. You can order the SIM cards through Nihao Mobile's website easily and receive it within 48 hours. If you're in quarantine, the SIM cards can also be delivered to your quarantine hotels. So when you get out of quarantine, you'll be connected and ready to explore. What's great about Nihao Mobile is that they're aware that setting up payment apps like Alipay or WeChat may be difficult for some people at the time. That's why they also support PayPal as another payment method. The activation is quick and a painless process. It took me about 2 minutes to set up. It can be done entirely online with your passport. Nihao Mobile offers a full English service with easy to understand and transparent prepaid plans. No hidden charges or surprise fees. Thank you Nihao Mobile for making this video possible. I will leave all of their contact information and the link where you can get your own SIM cards down in the description below. Those are my 7 main things you should know before coming to China. If you have any other questions, feel free to message me on Instagram. Link is down below, or just find me on Instagram at @morgansom_. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe.